mean, she was able to knock down some big shots, obviously. You know, we're trying to, you know, we had Kelsey Mitchell back for the first time, so that, you know, we're trying to, you know, it's going to take time to figure that out. Excited for her to be back though. But yeah, I mean, Caitlin was able to get her on, you know, her some looks and was able to knock them down. We just got to get, our spacing was not great, so we're gonna have to work on that. You know, Connecticut came in and they punched us in the mouth tonight, and we don't have a lot of practice time for our next one, so we'll be in the gym tomorrow watching a lot of video, trying to figure out how not to turn the ball over 25 times. 29 points.
Front row on the right.
Christie, kind of going off that last point with the turnovers when it came to Caitlin in particular, was it stuff that you thought she was rushing? Was it stuff that Connecticut was doing? I know they obviously doubled her. What did you see that made it so difficult for her in that sense?
Yeah. I mean, we've got to help her out. We've got to do a better job of coming back to the ball. We worked on that a couple times, you know, several times this week, just knowing that that was going to probably be what they were going to do, both on her and possibly E-Dub and Kelsey if she played. But we just have to do a better job of getting somebody back to the ball. Her coming off, and when that double team happens, her getting off of it, and then us looking to go inside right there because of how, you know, where their defense is at this point.
Who else?
Coach, I can sense your frustration. What's most frustrating about this loss for you?
Just, you know, there's just so much that we need to work on. And we just, you know, this league, it's not very kind to us right now with our schedule and what we have coming up next. And that was, you know, to have to watch video and not be able to go out and work on something, it's two different things. You know, you can watch, but it's different. So it's us trying to figure out how we can change and fix what we need to in 24 hours without a practice.
Go back front row on the left.
You mentioned that, you know, they punched you in the mouth. I guess why do you think they were able to do that early on?
Yeah, well, that's who they are. The Connecticut Sun is a good team. Give them all the credit. My gosh, you know, they've just got so many weapons. They hit big shots. I'm just really looking forward to going back and watching kind of how, you know, we had some breakdowns defensively and how we were going to guard some of their split actions with the guard-to-guard screens. You know, you put Bonner at the 4 and you run a pin down with her, with Banham, that's tough to guard. So, you know, there's just some things that because they're so talented, that they can do. So we've just got to get back to the drawing board, get back to figuring out, you know, how we can get those stops.
Go back front row in the middle of Howard.
Coach, when you saw out of Kelsey Mitchell tonight, number one, how gratifying is it to see her? It seemed like she was able to get stronger as the game went on. And number two, to a lot of the problems you're alluding to tonight, how significant is getting Kelsey Mitchell at full strength to solving some of those problems?
Oh, I think it's huge. I think getting her in, but again, you know, she hasn't practiced with us, so that chemistry with her, you know, as a dynamic guard as well, like that's just going to take some time, and we're only going to be able to get that in games. So, but yeah, really exciting to get her back. I think we went over like maybe a minute of what she was, you know, we were trying to keep her under. But yeah, just really excited to get her back.
Go back front row on the left, Scott.
Yeah, Coach, how do you deal with in general now moving forward with length, with physicality for the entire team as you go up against that with maybe size difference? And then also, how do you maybe jumpstart offensively AB and what she's trying to do inside? Yeah,
we've got to get AB some touches down there. You know, we've got the spacers to keep them from getting a double team or a triple team. We've got to do a better job of, I think more comes to like if people are going to guard us the way they did tonight, which if I was playing against us, I'd watch this video and guard it the same. We've just got to make sure we're moving, we're getting off the basketball, and we're able to get the ball inside to her because she's one-on-one in the post with them in those reds and those double teams.
Front row on the right to Chloe all the way.
Yeah, Dejanay Carrington shut down Caitlin pretty well tonight. Just what did she do well, or how can you use that to learn through film with coming up?
Yeah, I wouldn't say 20 points is keeping her down, but she can learn. Dejanay's an athletic guard, and they had a game plan against her, and it's just going to take some time for her to, you know, to figure that speed and quickness and physicality out. It's something she's not had. So, you know, we tried to rep it and mimic that at our practices with our practice guys as much as we could, but it's just not the same. So that, you know, just some timing for her of just having those reps against these kind of players.
Go second row on the left, Cassandra.
With all these tough opponents early on such quick turnarounds, what kind of benefit do you see, if you see one, of having it now as you develop with Caitlin and the rest of the team going forward?
Yeah, I think for me, the biggest challenge, and it's what I told them, like, you don't have time to sit on this game and just stay mad or stay upset. Like, we've got to move forward. We've got to get to New York. We've got to figure out what we did tonight that we can do better. On offense, especially the 25 turnovers, and some of them were just like they were trying to go inside. They were throwing it really from far out. Like, we've got to have people coming back to the ball and then attacking, getting in the paint. So we've got to get back to figuring out how to handle the Reds. That's what we're going to see all year with Caitlin and with Kelsey.
Go back in the front row to Erica.
Yeah, Coach, with regard to what you're talking about offensively, what is the ask from Aaliyah Boston? And then on the flip side of that, what is the ask of her teammates to feed and get Boston involved in what you want to see offensively?
Yeah, we stat, how many paint touches that we get, and that's just not a catch by a post. That's getting feet in the paint. We just weren't able to get downhill tonight at all. Like, if we could have got our feet in the paint and collapsed their defense, we would have been able to, hit some of our shooters. We just didn't get that. And because we didn't get that and we didn't move when the ball went into AB, our post automatics just weren't there. That's our movement off the ball. So that's just something we're going to look at tomorrow and do better at on Thursday.
I go to Zoom for one. Scripps News.
Hi, I was just thinking, I saw that 2 points in tonight's game where Caitlin was getting a bit frustrated, and that's something that she's had in college as well. Like, working with a young talent like that, what is your approach to making sure that frustration doesn't take over, doesn't interfere with the game plan too much?
Yeah, I think it's going back and watching video and showing her exactly, some things that we can do to help her out to relieve some of that pressure. She's a rookie, she's a rookie in this league. This is the best league in the world. We've got to teach her. We've got to teach her what these games are going to look like for her every single night, and we've got to eliminate some of that pressure for her. That's on me. That's on my staff to figure out.
I thought it was physical. I don't know, obviously it wasn't like the best start in the first half for myself. Getting into foul trouble, and then you got to sit on the bench and try to come back into the game and get into a little bit of a flow. But obviously too many turnovers. That's not going to get the job done. But I think just a lot of things to learn from. I didn't think we played well, and we had cut it to 6 in the third quarter. So I think that's a positive you look at. Like, we really did not play a good game, but we were right there at moments, and then it kind of got away from us at the end of the third and fourth quarter. Didn't have the greatest start, so I think just a lot to learn from. It's the first one. There's gonna be good ones, there's gonna be bad ones, and like we said in the locker room, like, we play on Thursday. You gotta learn from it and move on and be ready to go.
Got front row on the left too, Scott.
Caitlin, there's so much change going on in your world. How do you be the best version of yourself while adapting to so much change?
Yeah, I think it's, I think just going day by day and, trying to do the best you can no matter what. Obviously, I would have liked to play a little better tonight. I think all of us would say that if we were all sitting up here, and as a team collectively, we would have liked to play better and shown a better product, because I thought we've had some really good practices leading up to this game. But, I think the biggest thing is just, learn from it, move on. Things are going to come fast. That's how it is. This season goes fast. There's 39 games left, and plenty of opportunities to do what we want to do. But like Coach said, like, you have to be able to learn and watch it, and that's the way to get better, because there's only going to be so much we can do on the court tomorrow before we play the Liberty at home.
See Ben, the second row on the left.
Christie said that she felt like you guys got punched in the mouth early on. I guess, Caitlin, do you agree with that assessment of the start?
Yeah, for sure. I'd agree with Coach. I didn't think we came out and I thought our first couple possessions were okay, and then they kind of went on a run and we really struggled to score. We didn't really get into much, so I would agree with Coach for sure.
Front row on the right.
Caitlin, when it came to the turnovers, you mentioned you felt like you had too many. What was particularly the issue? Was it just the way that the team was guarding you, Dijonay in particular, anything that stood out?
I think definitely the physicality. I think also just like some uncharacteristic stuff, like I pick up the ball and travel, I dribble off my foot, I pass it on the inbound, I turn it over. So just a few things that are just, you have to be crisper. Like those are situations where, you're just giving the other team the ball. I think collectively, obviously, 25 turnovers is going to make it really hard for us to win. Coach said they took 66 shots, we took 50. Like, it's really hard to win games when you give them 16 more opportunities than we had. Like, it would be impressive if we won this game doing that. So I think some were uncharacteristic. I think their ball screen traps and hedges were really good, and we didn't fill up collectively to help out whoever the point guard was at the time to give a passing angle, and we turned it over a lot there. But they also capitalized on a lot of the turnovers that we had, like in transition. A team made great plays, they finished layups, they found open people. So not only were they turning us over, but they were capitalizing on those too.
Second row in the middle.
Caitlin, you talked a lot about gratitude pre-game. I think you used the phrase, how lucky are we, twice. I can, in spite of your disappointment, I can still see some gratitude on your face. I mean, in spite of that, I guess, what are your emotional takeaways from this game?
Yeah, I think obviously I'm disappointed, and nobody likes to lose. Like, that's how it is, but I don't think you can beat yourself up too much about, one game. I don't think that's going to help this team. I don't think no matter who it is on this team, nobody can do that with how they played, and just learn from it and move on. And, I guess I'm just excited for Thursday to get back home and have our home opener. And, I thought it took me a little while to settle into the game. I thought the second half was a lot better, minus some of the turnovers, but just getting more comfortable, and that's just going to come with experience and getting to play with these girls. And the more games I play, the more comfortable I'm going to get. So, we definitely need to have more assists too. I think I can find my post a little better as well.
Front row in the middle.
Caitlin, list one for each of you, if I could. Caitlin, for you just talked about it, but in the second half, it seemed like you were able to create a little bit more space to be able to find some more of your shots. I'm wondering the ways you did that. And then, Liz, for you, I saw from Indiana Fever PR, you guys, 50 of the first 64 games you've scored in double digits. As this young team comes together, how much do you take it as kind of a responsibility to be the rock, to be that given?
We have a lot of great players that can score the ball. Our role on this team is, just to help rebound, run hard, and score when I can. So, I do what I can when I'm in the game.
Yeah, I would say definitely in the second half, I just felt we ran stuff a little bit better. We got into some more actions. We swung the ball a little bit better. I think I was able to get a few mismatches and capitalize on those too.
Second row on the left, Cassandra.
For each of you, this is a tough game for any young team early with the veterans on the sun. What kind of benefit do you see, if you see one, of having a game like this early as you guys progress throughout the season?
I would say with us starting with a team like this, not this is as hard as it gets, but the ceiling is high for this. And like she said, we bounced back on Thursday, and we play another great team. So it's just about being a pro and just approaching games and just executing plays and doing stuff like that.
Yeah, I'd agree with this, for sure.
Anybody else? Far left there.
Caitlin, can you just speak to what was your takeaway from playing against NaLyssa Thomas for the first time? I'm sure you'd seen her, watched her on film, seen her on TV, but playing her in person, what was your takeaway from that?
Yeah, I think just she impacts the game in every single area, whether it's offensively, whether it's defensively, whether it's scoring, whether it's passing, whether it's rebounding. Those are the hardest players to guard, especially a player like her that can get the ball off the rim and push it up the court. That just creates matchup problems. I thought we did a pretty good job. Obviously, she's going to do what she does every single night. That's just how good she is. And, obviously I wasn't really matched up with her a ton on offense or defense. She guarded me there a little at the end of the game. But I think more than anything, the best part of her is just, she impacts the game in every single area on both sides of the ball.
Front row in the middle here.
Caitlin, now that you've played your WNBA debut, do you feel as though that there's some weight lifted off of your shoulders?
Yeah, I mean, I think I would have enjoyed to play better. I think all of us would have enjoyed to play better. I think we would have loved to win. I didn't really feel much pressure coming into this game. I was trying to just, do whatever I can to help the team and help us win. And like I said, you just go back to the drawing board. You got to learn from it. And, I'm sure we're excited to play on Thursday.
Back to the front row on the left, Scott.
Kayla, there was that moment at the end of the first half where Aaliyah kind of pulled you aside and had a message. You were probably the one doing that maybe at Iowa. What can you share about maybe what that did for you? And I don't know if that helped settle you or calm you down a little bit.
Yeah, I think just, just expecting the physicality was the biggest thing. Like, those aren't calls you're going to get. Like, they're going to get those calls. It is what it is. And I think that was basically all she said. Like, just be calm, be aggressive, and be you.
Front row on the left, Angela.
For both of you, we'll start with NaLyssa. Thursday, home opener, expecting a huge crowd with so much support in Indiana. What will that be like for both of you to start off the season at home?
I think it'll be exciting. I mean, it's been a lot of talk about it, and it's exciting to finally come. And I mean, we're just glad to, go out there again and just give them a show and just play hard.
Yeah, for sure. I think anytime you get to have a home opener and have the support that we've had, like our preseason game was tremendous, and now that we get to do it for real, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be loud. We're gonna need to use the environment to our advantage, and I think just learn and move on and get ready to play and embrace it and enjoy it because it is special too.
The last two questions will come from Zoom. We're going to go to, DJ and then Scripps. DJ? You have your hand up, DJ?
No, my hand has been up.
Okay, so we'll go to Scripps News. This will be the last question.
All right. I guess I'll squeeze one in for each of you. For Caitlin, I'm curious. They do a lot of you defensively. You mentioned a lot about learning from this. Like, how do you translate some of what happened tonight, some of what you saw the Sun throw at you, into more growth as a player, adjusting to the league? And then NaLyssa, you were able to sort of be the beneficiary to some extent. Not the best result, but you were able to get some buckets. Like, how do you anticipate, as Caitlin adjusts, as Aaliyah becomes a bigger part of the offense? Like, how do you anticipate taking advantage and finding opportunities to get to the basket?
NaLyssa, just answer that one about Aaliyah developing part of the offense and you growing off of it too.
Like I said, we have a lot of great players, and everybody's out here to score the ball, defend, play hard. So I would say, when I do get the ball, my goal is to score the ball and just execute the offense, play hard on defense, and usually come out with a win, but big turnaround in 2 days, and be ready to play then.